Good morning, everyone, and you're very welcome to day 4 of CITA's Regional Event Series Week. My name is Suzanne Purcell, and I am General Manager of CITA. Firstly, I would just like to say thank you to our two sponsors, ARUP and Tantek, who are sponsoring this regional event series, and we're delighted to have their support, which is also supported by CITA Skillnet. So this is obviously, it's a full week of events taking place Monday to Friday. We've already had 3 events. This is our 4th. Trevor McSharry is going to be chairing today along with David Collery, so we're delighted to have them on board, along with 3 great presenters, Denise, Lord, Maeve, Garrity and Browne. I just wanted to quickly mention, for those of you, and I know some of you have been on every day, so you can please ignore me for the next minute and a half. For those who are new to CITA and it's your first event of CITA's, if you become a member of CITA, CITA is a not-for-profit organisation. We've been in existence for 20 years. CITA runs its own CITA Skillnet training network, which is in existence since 2008. And you can avail of 30% discount off your construction-specific training courses. You can also have your organisation's profile up on your own exclusive membership page on CITA's website. And as a member, you get free attendance to the Circular Economy Series, the Tech Trend Series, Regional Event Series, and you can get a membership rate, which is a discounted rate, to attend the annual conference. This year's one, which is the CITA BIM gathering. So just to give you a quick short snapshot, the ASTRU event, which is a 12-part event, Circular Economy Series, run in conjunction with the CIOB, GMIT and IGBC, 10-part event series. The next event is taking place on the 6th of May. Any information you want to find out on that, go onto the CITA website, go into the event section and click on Circular Economy Series. We have a technology trend series, which looks at the top 10 technologies that are going to transform the construction sector. We have a large number of sponsors there, and these are the titles of those events. The next event, which was scheduled for next week, the 22nd, has been pushed to the 29th. And then we have the CITA Skillnet training network, which is a very vibrant network. It's going just over 12 years. Last year, we had an extremely successful year despite the pandemic. We had a large number of companies and a huge number of trainees, went from 400 to 600. And there's a huge diverse number of training courses available to anybody who is interested in upskilling in the construction sector. Go on to the cita.ie/skillnet and go into the schedule of events that are available to you. If an event or a training course you're interested in doing isn't there, please just get in contact with the CITA team. If you contact admin@cita.ie, myself or Shannon or Eleni will be more than delighted to help you. Our annual conference this year is the Gathering, CITA BIM Gathering. This will be the 5th time this is taking place. First time it'll be taking place virtually. We have 10 different categories of themes for this event. There is going to be already received 42 abstracts, which is great. On top of that, we will have 6 keynote speakers and 6 highlight case study industry presentations. So to be involved with CITA and to find out everything that's going on, check out the CITA website. Click into the events page, the past events page, the CITA training page, the CITA. If you are interested in, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were just muted for a second.
I don't know how I'm being muted. Anyway, sorry. So the membership and the sponsorship, and then finally, if you follow us on the social media platforms, their Twitter, LinkedIn.
You're on mute again, Suzanne.
So you're gone on mute again.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
You can hear me now, and this presentation went to stop. Okay. So anyone who's not on the CITA mailing list or not involved with hearing about the events, if you make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that way you will be able to hear about any events like today's events, which are all recorded. There's 10 years of material up there. So make sure you subscribe to the CITA YouTube channel if possible. Now, finally, I'd like to pass over to Trevor, and I'm delighted to have Trevor and David Collery chairing today's event. So I will just unshare my screen now. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoy the event.
Thank you very much, Suzanne. And I suppose on behalf of IT Sligo, myself and David are delighted to be able to participate in this week's seminar, and I hope everyone is enjoying the good weather and coping okay with the current restrictions in terms of the lockdown. So I think most of the speakers are working remotely all around the country. So interesting times indeed. And So this is the lineup of speakers for the next hour or so. Myself, I'll bring us through the speakers and give an overview of IT Sligo and I suppose the big picture in terms of the department activities, and David will look at some of the program specific topics and some technology associated with BIM. Then we'll move on to Denise Lord from the SFA, Maeve Garrity from ARUP, and Les Browne from Tantek. So basically this slide deck is an update, and I know we gave an update last November, so this is a follow on from that. And I suppose one of the most exciting initiatives that we have at the moment is in relation to the formation of the Connacht Ulster Alliance Technological University. So we're progressing very well on that path, and it's basically a merger between LYIT, GMIT and IT Sligo. So you can see we've quite a catchment area there, all the west and northwest of Ireland. So we're very excited about that initiative, and we're looking forward to collaborating with construction related departments and pooling our expertise in BIM from a research and innovation and teaching perspective. So we're hoping to get the submission for the CUA completed over the next few weeks. So the goal is to be a TU for 2022. This is an overview of the campus at IT Sligo, and in orange are the construction and engineering related buildings. And I suppose we've been developing KNL here, which has become a centre for the Yates Academy of Arts and Architecture and Design. So there's been quite a capital investment put into those buildings to bring them up to current standards. And there's also a number of initiatives that we're looking at the moment in terms of a new E01 building. So there's 18 million going in there. And then there's also activity down in Finniskillen, where we're looking at relocating the PEM Research Centre down there. And then there's future growth in terms of apprenticeships, and we're looking at some space at the moment to occupy. And as part of the refurbishment of our existing facilities, we'll be putting in a BIM lab, which will have AR and VR facilities, as well as multidisciplinary collaboration opportunities with large touch screens. So we're very excited about that initiative. Just to fill you in, I suppose IT Sligo have been one of the, the pioneers in terms of online learning over the last 20 years. And I know all third level and secondary level for that matter have had to switch over to online delivery. And during the last number of years in particular, our department has strategic partnerships with various national bodies for the provision of education on a part-time basis online to various cohorts, including TII, the Local Authority Services National Training Group, Irish Water, Department of Transport, and SCSI. In addition, I suppose professional accreditation is really important to us in our programs in terms of quality assurance, and also for the graduates to have international recognition of their qualifications. So we have a recognition with SCSI for Quantity Surveying Engineers Ireland for the engineering and civil engineering related programs. CIOB accredit all of our construction management related programs, and SciWEM accredit our water and wastewater programs. This diagram is a progression path map of our online portfolio of programs that we've developed over the last 10 years or so. So we have the largest suite of online part-time programs in the country relating to construction. And over to the right, we have construction economics all the way through to level 9 via quantity surveying up to specialization in M&E quantity surveying, which is a new program delivered over the last year in collaboration with SCSI. In the middle, we have construction management, which is well established since 2006, progressing to level 8, construction project management, and a master's in project management. And in these offerings, there's also special purpose awards. Over to the left is a collective of programs, including a collaborative program with SCSI, which is a higher cert in property services and facilities management, and that aligns to the PRSA licensing requirements. And also we have 2 level 6 offerings in water and wastewater treatment operations that we've developed with Irish Water. This is the TII program, which is a road safety audit program. And also we have a master's in water services management for Irish Water. And over here we have a suite of programs for the Department of Transport focusing on road and transport engineering. And we have a TU compliant master's, which has a 60 credit dissertation in geotech and structural engineering. So there's great progression paths in those offerings that we have at the moment for anyone looking to upskill. Also, I suppose just wanted to note that there is an upcoming event on the 29th of April. It's going to be a virtual platform exhibition. It's for our engineering expo, and at that there'll be various presentations, interactive demonstrations and so on, and some of our students and staff will be involved in presenting some of their work that they're doing at the moment, and there's a link there that'll be available on these slides shortly with further information on how to apply. So please do attend. It'll be a great opportunity for industry to collaborate with IT Sligo, and also to I suppose develop relationships with potential graduates. So now I'd like to hand over to David Collery, who's going to give an overview of the technology that we have at IT Sligo relating to BIM, and also the specific programs in that area. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Trevor, for that and the introduction. Yeah, so look at, Trevor, you can maybe move it on there for me, a slide. So 2 years ago, Sligo IT, we had kind of a programmatic review, and we've kind of overlooked a lot of our construction courses and tried to embed BIM, or the softwares that enables BIM, at the earliest point, and being that as being first year and first semester. So as part of that, we developed a strategy regarding software and how we were going to implement programs and different models into IT Sligo. And this is kind of some of the logos or some of the screenshots of some of the key Revit models or key models that our software we've actually implemented. So we've tried looking at Autodesk and Revit, and Autodesk has been one of the main suites of software that we have looked at. But we also have a strong SolidWorks linking into then Asta Power project for 4D, and BuildSoft, which is more for capturing quantities and costs from a quantity surveying approach. And then at the moment we've access to two common data environments, both Bluebeam and Autodesk BIM 360. And the view is that hopefully, as we have a capstone project, we'll be fit to have multidiscipline collaboration using both of these systems. So basically, students, when they're going out into industry, they'll be familiar with I suppose common data environments and the level of engagement that's needed to be, and collaboration within, I suppose, what's happening on a daily basis, but it's increasingly happening and will in the future. So that's what we're kind of trying to, and a lot of this has come back from feedback from industry, what actually industry are using. We do also have an element of AutoCAD still being taught. It's just, and that was driven by feedback from what a lot of the industry around this part of the world is actually still using. So okay, Trevor, you can pop it on there, another slide, thanks. As part of this strategy was we were looking also, we have invested in some VR and AR headsets. So it's to kind of let the students develop the models, be it in Revit or SolidWorks, and then actually go through the process of actually trying to transfer that in, and actually then being fit to view it themselves and engage in it. And that's what I suppose is part of the strategy that we have in place in Sligo IT, that this is where industry is actually trying to communicate, and how we're actually trying to accommodate that and making our students, suppose, ready for industry and fully aware of it. And what we're finding is with students is, when it comes to this element of it, that they pick it up straight away. They maybe have been used to the game and technology, and it's nearly second nature. And it's actually trying to get staff and lecturers up to speed is the bigger learning curve. So which we're doing that. So that's, but it's great to see, and that will link into what Trevor mentioned earlier with having the BIM studio hopefully set up. So we'll have a designated location where this technology will be, and we can have access to it. Now, this is a lot of talk about post-COVID approach. Okay, thanks, Trevor. And as part of this, we have a new course that has been approved and will be coming online in September. So it's a certificate in digital construction technology. It's a level 7 course, and this has been developed basically on some feedback from industry, that actually it gives a base level of understanding of what BIM and BIM fundamentals. It has 3 modules. It's designed to be delivered online as a part-time course, and it goes through building technology and building services, and in semester 2 it has a BIM and collaboration approach, and then a commercial element from a commercial construction element, and then linking in, I suppose what's quite important now is the geospatial approach from a surveying aspect, making sure that all these, if you are working in different building models, that they are working on the right coordinates, they are actually in the right location and not out by a different coordinate, and that geospatial is becoming, I suppose, a never increasing importance now, because a lot of it's been designed off-site and in a cloud-based approach with the use of BIM. So that's hopefully that will be available. The website will be updated soon. So that's a new course and a new offering to industry, and that's based mainly on industry feedback. So that's a very positive thing. And we also have a level 9 certificate, postgrad certificate in BIM and lean construction management. And this course is over 1 year. It's 5 modules, and it's really based at actually maybe construction project managers and construction management, that actually to understand the synergies between BIM and lean construction, how maybe BIM is part of a lean tool or lean element, because when you look at what they're trying to do with BIM and lean, they're very, very similar. They're trying to reduce waste and add value and make things accessible and avoid duplication or misunderstandings or miscommunications with the use of digital technology. So, and this module also links in the use of good project management practices, from project planning to the project implementation, and the soft skills that's needed to use to actually help people implement projects. And that's, I suppose, with all this technology that's been developed, and which is brilliant, it's still, projects are still delivered by people, for people, and it's how you engage and having that soft skills in the project management implementation. So it's a kind of it is a good course that we've got good feedback from, and for the last couple of years it has been springboarded approved. So we've applied this year again to have it springboarded approved. But just if course is springboarded, you can get 90% of the course will actually be covered by the springboard course, and which is very beneficial. So and this course also links into the BRE BIM AG, which allows students that pass it to become a BIM accredited individual. So they have a certain BIM accreditation, and they're the two main kind of, we have BIM is embedded into a lot of other civil engineering and other courses within IT Sligo, but they're kind of the new course, and this is the course we have on level 9. So that's really kind of the overview I was planning to give from the technical aspect, and I'll pass it back to yourself, Trevor, and thank you.
Thanks very much, David. Appreciate that. And now I'd like to hand over to Dennis Lord, who's the network manager with SFA Skillnet, who's going to cover MentorWork's program. Denise, we can't hear you yet anyway.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Trevor. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. I'm delighted to be able to present today in our MentorsWork program. I'm Denise Lord, and I represent the Small Firms Association and Skillnet.
If you want to turn on your camera as well, Denise, if you have the bandwidth, I suppose.
Is it coming on there? Apologies, yeah. I seem to have just lost it there. Is that okay for you there? Perfect. Yeah, it's coming on again. Apologies for that. So again, as I said, I'm just supporting the Small Firms Association Skillnet today. I'm delighted to take you through the MentorsWork program. Our MentorsWork program has been involved since last year, and it is really to support the small, medium-sized enterprises. And what I'd like to do today is take you through that. So the MentorsWork program is a program that's been designed with the small, medium-sized enterprise at the heart of the program. It's to provide business owners and managers and their leaders with skills and supports to support businesses in this current environment, and to look forward to the environment of getting back into business for everyone. The MentorsWork is brought to you from the Small Firms Association with a number of partners, so the Skillnet Ireland, IBEC, Strategic Banking Corporation of Ireland, and Microfinance. So the combination of all of us coming together is to support the businesses throughout various aspects and skills and upskilling. So I'd like to now take you through the program that we offer. So our MentorsWork program is a flexible program designed to provide skills and supports to help improve and maybe grow businesses from where you currently are and to the next level of business. The program is fully subsidised and offers integrated learning supports across 4 key pillars. The foundation for these 4 pillars have been taken from feedback that have generated from previous MentorsWork programs from last year, our feedback from our participants to date, and the rationale against 4 very key elements that really support everyone's business, depending on your size and your growth opportunities. The 4 pillars are around people, finance and growth, digital, automation, and business processes. So they're really intricate until how the processes work for each of it. The program connects the business owners with dedicated business mentors who are experts in their own field, and they will support the SME as they travel through the journey of the MentorsWork program on a one-to-one basis. As I said, just to explain to you, our 4 business pillars have a wealth of areas of aspirations in on it. And as we know, with every business, people are at the heart of success of the business. Our business pillars are based around productivity to support the business in every element of the success, and realistically looking at the SME as the leader, the managers, and above all, the team members coming together. So we built one of the pillars, and a lot of our training and supports are based around people. So we look at how we can support leadership and development of management skills, and they're crucial to the ongoing success of everyone's business. On the finance and growth, we've looked very closely at everyone's business of how we need to look at products and services to support the business, and what businesses need to do to strategize to improve their business and also to steadfast on it. So we have had inputs from the SBCI and microfinance, and we do a lot around the business financing of growth, around marketing as well. So very key element and one of our main business pillars. The third one is digital, and as we all know, we've moved into the digital platform. A lot of businesses have had to bring their business online through digital platform they may have had to use beforehand, and we've noticed in our mentoring sessions and our training sessions that digital has really come to the forefront of everyone's business. So what we have done is put together a whole business pillar around digital and bringing the business online to support productivity and also to engage for new business opportunities through the digital platform. Our final pillar is based around business processes, and every business has processes currently in place. And what we try to do across the business pillar around processes is to identify what processes are there to support what we can work on it to involve efficiency, and also to look at where if waste is happening, how we can identify those through our network of mentors and our expert leaders in our thoughts process. So as I said, the MentorsWork program is based around these 4 pillars, and as I bring you through the rest of the program, you'll start to see how these 4 come into play as well. So I'm going to take you on now to the actual program itself. So the MentorsWork program offer is a free, structured 12-week business program. It's an integrated approach of mentoring and targeted learning opportunities. And this has all been developed through industry experts and all around to boost the productivity of the business. There's a number of key strands involved in the program, and I'm just going to tell you a few of them here and then showcase them to you. The first one that we have enhanced there in the last month is we've offered now an in-depth online competency assessment. We have one-to-one mentoring sessions, unlimited access to our workshop networks. They're about 2 hours in length and all around different aspects of business. And we also have a number of key master classes across a vast range of business thought leadership, topics and titles that would support any business in the current environment. And we also enhance them on a regular basis. Another key aspect of the MentorsWork program is that we have a curated online learning platform, and that is an opportunity for the SME to work very closely on knowledge-based learning. It's accessible 24 hours, and depending on the thought leadership of the SME, they can involve their own training and learn from the knowledge-based platform that we offer. At the end of the 12-week program, we come together on all of those strands and we offer to work with the SME on a strategic business improvement plan, taking on board their commitment to the program and the learning opportunities throughout that will help the business improve and look forward to bringing their business to the next level. The master classes and workshops, they are really best practice from business experts. Our presenters and facilitators work very closely with SMEs currently in the business, and we have taken on board our feedback from previous segments of it, and we lay out the masterclasses and workshops in line with our requirements from the SME, from our mentoring feedback, and they are a wealth of industry practices and guidelines to support everyone in the business. They're open to all the industries, and we have a great network of industries joining us on the MentorsWork program, a lot from construction and from technology, and we support the masterclasses and workshops on an ongoing basis. Each mastershop and workshop bring the best of best practices insights together. So, and we're delighted to say that when the participants join us on the master classes and workshops, they have full access to as many as they wish to participate in. Our masterclass and workshops are based on a daily basis. We have a full array of them, and our masterclasses are 1 hour in total and our workshops are 2 hours. Our masterclasses are thought leaderships where they come on and we will take a particular topic around a particular area of interest and we support the learning from that, where our workshops are very much peer-to-peer. We use breakout sessions and we work very closely with the facilitator on a particular topic. So all of these are selected by the SME to join us on them, and we are delighted that they've been very successful to date as well. So just to go through the 4 pillars, we have a number just to explain kind of the concept and delivery that we use on it. On our people pillars, we said that the heart of your business is your people. And realistically looking on what's happened in our recent business world, we have looked at a number. So I'm just going to kind of showcase a few of them to you today, but we've over 50 plus different topics of interest for an SME to join us. So currently we have like talent leadership in a COVID world. That is really to support the manager, the business owner, and how to support and lead the team in the COVID world and how we've been affected by COVID to date and how we can support them. We've also done one there recently, working from anywhere, and as we all know, we're now in the virtual world, and how we've had to adapt businesses and how we keep teams working together and the importance of motivating the team to deliver the business requirements as well. So they've been very proactive and they've been based between 2 hours and 1 hour, but we also have a wealth of additional areas under our people pillar. But I just want to kind of showcase those two to you today that are relevant to what's happening in business. In our finance and growth pillar, 2 areas that have really come to the forefront is achieving the sales results and how to accelerate your growth. And currently, as we know, moving the business pillar, that you would have to maybe identify new strands of business, how you're going to get sales, moving sales online, and how to accelerate the growth and maybe capture your business areas. So realistically, our finance and masterclasses are all about getting sales results, about marketing your business, how to accelerate and maybe a new challenge that you've not thought about that you can avail of. So realistically, it's really about the growth of your business and supporting the marketing. We've also brought in one there, we're kind of driving your finances and understanding what drives the business drivers. So realistically, we've supported kind of demystifying what finances are available to businesses, how to adapt cash flow, how to look at every avenue of business and how they can be implemented in the business platform that an SME was to share. So very much 4 key areas under those 2 pillars to support businesses currently affected. Our final 2 pillars then is our business process pillar. And realistically, we looked at the business processes to support what's happening and how people have had to adapt to businesses and what processes are currently used. And realistically, one we did there was best practice can add value to your business and maximizing your profits and optimizing the processes that in play. We've also brought in lean processes as well and how to identify waste and risks and uncertainty of business going forward. So really say our business pillar around that area really captures the essence of strategic thinking going forward and how to benchmark your current business standards and how we can add value to your business in its current climate and also looking to the forward of your future business. The final pillar, digitalization optimization, has really come to the forefront. And we looked at ones there recently about winning new customers in all digital world and how we've all had to come on and embrace the viral attributes of business. And one that we looked at was how to really to grow your business online. And this was developed for businesses that possibly may have not had to use digital tools to grow business beforehand, and really how to grow it in a short period of time. The mentorship program is 12 weeks. And if you kind of look at that, it kind of supports the business over 12 weeks as well. And that can really give you some insights and thought leadership about identifying those. So all of our masterclass and workshops are all listed on our website as well. But I just want to kind of showcase some of them today to give you a feel for what we offer as well. Another part of the strand is mentoring. And the mentoring is very much a one-to-one. This is a private confidential session. It's bespoke guidance and advice from our mentors. Our mentors are well-versed. They're subject experts in particular areas. And we have worked with our mentors for the last number of months. And we currently have a lot of SMEs who are supporting and availing of the mentoring program. Part of the mentoring session is also one of our new parts is our competence assessment. Our competence assessment, I'm going to showcase to you in a few moments, is really a focus on how you can take your business currently in its current frame and move it and progress it so that you can be very decisive in your actions going forward and give you new insight into your business. So the competence assessment is really a focus on questions that you will ask yourself as a business owner and to support your mentoring and what you'd like to get from mentoring. We work very closely with the overall outcome of a business improvement plan that is will take a business to the next steps after the 12 weeks program into the next 6 months. And that's all helped by going through and supported by the workshops and masterclasses, which I just outlined. And again, the whole trend across the whole aspects of MentorsWork is our 4 pillars of business. Another part of it is a curated learning platform. So we work very closely with, it's called Percipio. We offer 3 online learning licenses to the Percipio platform. It has a wealth of information available from videos, audios, and courses. And depending on the SME's availability, it's open 24/7. You have access through a particular license that's activated and can be used for the entirety of the MentorsWork 12-week program. They have unlimited access to the whole wealth of the library. So I know there's over 40,000 pieces of information available, but depending on the SME and depending on your availability, you might want to do a 10-minute journey of video, maybe top tips in sales or top tips in strategy planning, or you might have longer of your own time and maybe do an audiobook review. And there's also courses in adaptation to what we offer through our current networks as well. When an SME is approved and join us on the MentorsWork program, we also do a curated learning platform. So we identify from the outset 3 or 4 areas that the SME would like to work on, and they're actually all curated into the on-learning platform. So straight away, your access is built to support your customized learning and knowledge across the platform. But as we said, you have then unlimited access to the wealth of learning. It's an international platform, and it encourages the growth of learning and knowledge, not alone just for the SME, but also for 2 managers that the 2nd and 3rd license can go to. I want to take you through our company assessment. This is for the full program. So our full program, when anyone applies to it and they have got approval to come onto the platform, what we offer is a full online assessment, and we work very closely in an onboarding session within the MentorsWork. It's a hosted program where we do our onboarding to the MentorsWork and explain all the different details I've gone through to today. But we also take time, and it's a focus for the business to come on board, take that time out to have a deep dive into their business to ascertain what areas they would like to work on. It gives them a benchmark across our 4 business pillars, but also maybe gives you some new insights of where you'd like to take your business through. It's a self-rating statement across the 4 business pillars I outlined earlier on. And at the end of it, a bespoke report is given to the participant, and that shows the strengths of the businesses and development opportunities that may come from the self-rated statements. This report can be used then and discussed with the mentor, and also can be used as a reflective report over the 12 weeks. And then the last part then is when the SME has completed the program, they can opportunities then to come back 6 months later. So after completing the MentorsWork 12-week program, maybe putting in place the business plan, the learning and knowledge from all the different strands of the MentorsWork program, we offer an opportunity to come back and retake it. And then you can actually ascertain where you were before the program and the end of the program to bring you through it. So that is a new concept as well. For those that have not yet considered maybe looking at the MentorsWork program, we offer a trial version of the competency assessment on our MentorsWork website. This is a snapshot. It's based on 4 of the areas. As I mentioned earlier on, the finance and growth pillar, they're 2 of the most popular areas. So it's a 24 questions. It's available free on the MentorsWork program, and that will give you an insight into the 4 particular areas. So for example, finance literacy, the financial analysis, winning and competing for new business, and marketing your business, which is really to the forefront of all business that we've spoken to recently. So you're more than welcome to have a look at the trial version of the competency assessment. So this is like, it's a miniature version of the full competency assessment, but the competency full assessment is only available to those that are actually in on the full program. But at the end of the trial version, you still get a smaller report and then an opportunity then possibly to think about applying to the full MentorsWork. So we would reach out and say to anyone that's interested in looking at it, and there is a free trial available on the MentorsWork program. So if anyone is interested in how to apply, as I said, it's the MentorsWork program has been developed in partnership with industry experts to boost SME productivity. The program is available free of charge to SME owner managers operating across all sectors in Ireland. And we do have a number of construction and technology companies currently with us, and the program is currently live. It is open to private sector business based in Ireland with between 5 and 250 employees who are eligible to participate in MentorsWork. The full details of our MentorsWork program and the eligibility criteria is fully available on www.mentorswork.ie. If you do go and have a look at our website, it'll also showcase the areas that I've talked you through this today on it in a larger outwork, so you can see our full program opportunity. It can give you the overview of what MentorsWork is, how to apply, the criteria that must be met to be approved, and also please, if you wish, have a look at the trial of our competency assessment, and that will also give you an overview of our MentorsWork program. Last but not least, I'd like to say thank you so much for your opportunity to work with us today on the MentorsWork program. On behalf of the Small Firms Association, Skillnet, and our colleagues in IBEC, SBCI, and Microfinance, we're delighted today to give you an insight into our MentorsWork program, and we're delighted to hopefully say that we can answer any questions we have at the end of today. So again, thank you so much, and I'd like to now pass you back to Trevor and to David, our host for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Denise. Great overview of a really good resource that I suppose any owner of an SME should consider. It's just fantastic to see such, I suppose, tools available free as well to small and medium-sized companies for them to grow and become efficient and digitize. So I know we're going to cover questions and answers at the end of this session. So if people do have questions, if you can keep them for then, we'd be grateful. So thanks for that, Denise. And what I'd like to do now is hand you over to Maeve Garrity, who's a junior electrical engineer, who's going to talk about BIM applications in the electrical design process. She works with ARUP and she's linking in from Galway today. You're very welcome, Maeve.
Hi, Trevor. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen now. This will. Are you seeing the black screen or the full?
That's perfect as it is.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to pop this over. Yeah, so I am going to be talking to you today about BIM applications in the electrical design process. So I'm currently a project engineer in the ARUP in the electrical team, and this talk is kind of just going to give you a high-level overview of some of the BIM tools and software that we use to really streamline the design process and just make it more effective. So just a bit of background on myself. I studied electrical and electronic engineering at NUIG. And I interned at ARUP for 6 months in 2017, and it was a great insight to the industry, and I knew right then I really wanted to get into it. And so when I graduated in 2018, I was recruited back for the grad program, which is the image there from our 3-day training session at in the Amsterdam office. And I'm currently working in the MEP buildings team. I've been there for almost 3 years, and I work mainly on commercial and educational projects. Yeah, and it's been a great almost 3 years. So the first slide is kind of, I think it's really interesting to show the kind of design evolution of how this workflow has progressed. And in the couple decades since the drawing, since it was a drawing board and everything was done on paper, it's progressed so exponentially. Every step in between these stages, there's less and less time. And I just think it's gone from you having drawing and you're designing separately to those two workflows really combining to where you're now designing in Revit. And I just think it's a really great workflow. And this kind of image, I stole this off a colleague because I thought it was really great. The world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, it's data. And it's just, technology has increased so rapidly that we're just completely immersed in data. And it's, how we manage it and how we sort through it is so important. And this is kind of what this is going to be talking about. This is just kind of a sample of what we use at ARUP during our design stage, but the next slides are kind of just going to be talking through how we manage data, how we calculate data, how we also then coordinate and do clash detection. So our main software that we use is Revit. I think like most consultancy firms, it's talking about data and how we manage data. It is a database. It's a database of structured data, and everything we use, like automation tools and software, is all linked to Revit. And before we had Revit, it was CAD. We used CAD, and it was it was unstructured data. Everything was 2D, and it was what you saw was what the information that you got. So it's just it's such a great tool for managing your information. And our main source of data is our Revit families. So we internally at ARUP, we have teams that develop Revit standards for and templates for our families and for our schedules and for our checking views. So that really ensures consistency across the regions. And that's great, not just for designing and for having our drawings consistent, but then also it's really great for our automation tools, because if you have a Dynamo script that relies on certain parameters within families, that means that all of our offices can use this Dynamo script because we're using the same families and the same templates. So it's a really great tool. And also, it's not just good for us, but it's great for other companies and other disciplines that work with us that really rely on our models that we're issuing to be as up to date and as informative as possible. And it's a really well-rounded tool. So the first kind of add-in I'm going to talk about is our Revit scheduling tool. So scheduling in Revit is really powerful. It can be a really great tool to use, but if it's not planned out ahead of time, and at the very beginning of your project, you look and you see how are you going to sort out your data, how are you going to plan it out, it can kind of be a bit of a mess, and you might end up with having schedules that are half filled out, and you're going to have to then manually fill in all of these schedules. because it may look like Excel in your Revit schedules, but it doesn't work like Excel. You have to fill every single cell one by one. So using RF tools and using parameter transformers really, really streamlines this process, because you can export families and their parameters and fill them out in Excel, and then it pushes it right back into the model. So what I'm explaining here is for circuits. So I'm looking at distribution boards. So you have the rows of circuits and all of their parameters and the information. And so you can pick the family you want, so using circuits, and then you can pick all of the parameters that are going to be in the schedule, and you export that, and it exports to an Excel spreadsheet where you can then filter. You can really just fill out the information really quickly and really efficiently. And then when you're finished, you push that back through the parameter transformer, and it pushes all that information back into those families. So all of the schedules are then filled out. And it doesn't just help with time management, but it can kind of cut out the human error aspect of it, because if someone is editing schedules and they're doing it one row by one row, you never know, someone could miss something, or something can slip through the cracks, and this really helps cut that out. So the next thing is checking schedules. So for our checking schedules, I think in ARUP we use checking views a lot. So we have internally generated these checking views that are layouts that basically filter properties and filter parameters by color. So we use them a lot for, the mechanical team uses them a lot for looking at checking airflow, and we use them for checking that everything is circuited well. But I think checking schedules are really fantastic, because they're just a really great way of checking your parameters and checking your families. So I used them in my last project really well for checking data points. So within the project, we had 3 different comms rooms, and we wanted to end thousands of data points in the building. And so we really wanted to make sure that none of the data points slipped through the cracks. None of them was left without a comms room associated with it. So in all of the comments for the data points, we associated it with a comms room for where it's originating, and each room had a schedule, and it was a really great way of checking how many points, which then led to a really easy way of sizing comms racks and sizing the rooms. So it was a really efficient tool. But not only that, it was really great for checking if any points kind of slipped through, and if they didn't have one of those 3 rooms associated with it, it showed up in the missing a home schedule, which is the 6th one down. And so we can then make sure that every single one had an associated comms room. But the last really great thing about it is that we used it for if there are any variations within your design. So we finished our design, and then our architect came back and said the end client needed it to be updated for these data points to be added. And not only did we want to keep track ourselves, but it was a really great way to then, at the end for costing, that we had a solid number of this is what we did beforehand, and these are the ones we added. So we had a schedule that was the total, that's 2B versus 2C, which was the design stage, the 2B design stage and the 2C design stage. So it was a really great, just concise schedule of the summary of what was added and what was removed. So it was, I think checking schedules are just fantastic. So the next guy is Smart Schematics. So every single project has LV schematics, has MV schematics, has single line diagrams, and we use Tantek, which is it's a software that we use to map out our distribution plans for LV and MV, and it also will calculate your cable sizes and your breaker sizes. So we do that for every single project regardless, and we have an Excel cable schedule which is exported from your Tantek. That's usually a deliverable on its own. And it just has all of the cables and all of their associated information, their breaker sizes, their cable sizes, everything. And so before this Dynamo script, we were relying on somebody would go in and take that information and manually fill it in to your Revit schematics. And it took a long time. It also could bring up some human error. Somebody there could just be some discrepancies between the two. So this Dynamo script really, really helps with that. So it takes all of the information from the Excel cable schedule and pushes it into the Revit schematic, but it relies on unique identity references, which we associate the same number, the same name in the Amtech calc as we do in the Revit. So the Dynamo script knows that this breaker is the same as this breaker and will fill it out with the correct information. And I think that's a common thread with the Dynamo scripts, is that you need to make sure that when you start doing it, you plan it out and you make sure everything has the right name, all the naming criteria is the same, because if you mess that up, the Dynamo script won't work well. So the next Dynamo script is looking at your Dilux Evo calculations. So we use Dilux Evo for lighting levels and uniformity. It's a lighting calculation software. So we use it to get all of that good stuff for lighting. And you're modeling in Dilux Evo, and you're getting your calculations and you're getting it all to standard. But then you're having to do that work again by modeling in Revit. So you're basically just doubling up the work. So the automation team developed a Dynamo script that basically, the same way it did the last one, it takes a luminaire type from the Dilux Evo file and will push that right into the model in the exact same position. So the Dynamo script takes the XYZ positioning of that luminaire and then will push it into the exact same spot. But again, it's reliant on, you have to make sure that the naming criteria of that luminaire in Dilux Evo is the same as the luminaire type, the family type in Revit. And it's really great because it just cuts down the time on modeling in Revit. It also probably cuts down on your eye strain, because you're not staring at a model for hours trying to get the modeling done. So I use this very frequently, and it's fantastic. And then the last kind of Dynamo script is just a really quick one. It's for fire alarm systems. So it basically allows for the quick placement of fire alarm detectors as per the standards. So you know that for fire alarm devices, they have to be placed a certain distance from other devices and a certain distance from walls. So the script will take, our models, when we create our Revit models, we also create an accompanying spaces model, which is taken from the architect's rooms that they send us on. So each space will have boundings, will have height, width, and length. And the script will take those boundings and will place a detector accurately in the model in those spaces as to the standards. So if a room is more than 8 by 8, it will place at least 2 detectors in the room on the ceiling in the right spots. And so it's a really useful tip to just get all your detectors in at once, and then you can maybe fiddle around with them. But it's just a really efficient tool. And I think with anything Dynamo and scripting and automation wise, if you have something that requires a rule, it requires something that is coming from standards. So like fire alarm detectors has to be at least can't be more than 6 meters from another detector, or 4 meters from a wall. If there's a rule like that, it can be automated. And that's kind of how our automation team is looking at it. They're trying to develop more tools. And it's a really easy way to kind of weed out which things can be automated. So moving on from kind of data management and calculations, looking at more coordination, we have been using BIM 360 a lot more frequently for projects these days, because it's not just a common data environment, but it is a way that we can make a lot bigger Revit models, because we're not relying on our network. We're not getting the lag and the connectivity issues of being on our network. So it's a really great tool, but it also lets you track your design process and version history. And it also is great for sharing your models. So that's become a lot more common as well, where you need to have maybe every 2 weeks you're sharing models with the architect and with other consultancy firms. So BIM 360 really streamlines that, because you're not having to download the model off Revit, clean it, and then upload it back onto a platform online. You're just having to share it within BIM 360, and it really makes it more efficient. It also is the single source of truth. So it's it's the one place that everything is updated. Everything's updated there. That's where you look to for all your information for everyone. And then not even in the design stage, but if you're doing on-site, doing inspections, it's really great for having it on site. You can have it on your phone or your tablet, and you can be looking at drawings or 3D views while you're going around site and doing inspections. So it's a really, really handy tool. So then moving on to clash detection. So we use Navisworks for clash detection, and it's great because it supports coordination and assists to identify design issues encountered during design stages. So it literally allows you to walk through the model like you're in the building, and you can tag any sort of clashes or any sort of just mistakes in the model or anything that you want to alter. And you can tag it and put in comments or put in review clouds, and those are saved as viewpoints. And so even when we're going through, like with design team meetings, you can export these as reports and have a really nice, concise report of clashes. Now, even though we are doing this as an addition, the project lead will usually run final clash detection and issue reports. We just use it internally during the design stages to really, really hone our coordination and make it a lot more effective. But this again is really dependent on receiving up-to-date models from architects or from structural engineers, because there's no point in running clash detection if walls move or doors move or things aren't up to date. And it as well is very important because more projects are requiring walkthroughs as towards the end of the design stages from the BIM execution plan. It's kind of becoming more a requirement where you're going to have to walk through and make sure that everything looks right in 3D, so that you don't have a light a little bit further down from the ceiling than you should, or a socket floating, or a pipe just kind of sticking out of a wall somewhere. Yeah, so it's just a really great tool. And then looking at visualization then, so Enscape is a great software. So it drastically reduces time frame for us to create visualization within our projects. So you can export images, you can do walkthroughs, you can export models for your virtual reality software, and it creates a really great high quality render that allows you to really see the project you've worked on and have it come to light and just be a really great model. And we've had really fantastic feedback from clients of bringing them in, strapping the headset on them and then being able to walk through their building and see it as an actual building and not have it as drawings or Revit models. And it's been fantastic. Yeah. And so just to kind of quickly wrap it up, looking at ARUP and the future development, we as a firm, we aspire to be the leading digital consultants in the built environment, and we're continually developing new tools and new automation scripts, but it doesn't matter unless they're being used on all of our projects, because I think there could be a little bit of a stigma with if you're working on smaller projects or projects that don't have the long time frame that you don't think you need to use them. And I think that's one of the main things that we're looking at right now is every project we're on, doesn't matter what size it is or what time frame it is, at the very beginning, we want to have digital inception meetings where you plan everything out and you plan to a T every tool you're going to use and every script you want to use for automation and for digital. And it really helps later on because it's just a very cohesive plan then. You're not halfway through a project thinking, oh, that could have worked a lot better if we did it this way. So I think that's a really important part of projects. And I really like this quote from our digital team. So embracing our digital future to deliver greater opportunities for ARUP, for our clients, and for the wider world. And that is really important because we, in ARUP, we want to shape a better world. And it's all well and good if we're trying to be at the forefront of digital innovation, but it's not going to make a difference unless we help the rest of industry get there and we promote a shared ethos of shaping a better world in the entire industry. And we'll get better projects and we'll get more effective and more just better quality projects from that. Yeah, so that's myself. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask, but I'll pass you back on to Trevor.
Maeve, thank you very much. It's just brilliant to see ARUP being so open with all of the innovations that you're developing, and thanks for sharing so many with us today. Really insightful. So I'm down to get into the discussions on them, which we will after the next speaker. But really interesting, Maeve, and well done. I think
Thanks.
you've made probably a huge difference in ARUP over the small amount of years that you've been there. So well done, and it's really interesting to see the developments that you've shared with us today. And I think it's particularly important for SMEs who mightn't have the scope or capital to get to the level that you're at in terms of leading. And it's really useful to have that open approach with ARUP, that you alone can't do it yourselves. For the sector to progress, everyone needs to be involved and to upskill. So thank you very much for that. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to the last speaker, who is Browne from the Tantek 4D. They're located in Sligo, and he's the BIM manager, and he's going to focus on the use of 4D BIM in tendering submissions. So I'd like to pass over to Les now, who's our final speaker for today, and then we'll have Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks very much, Trevor, and thanks for having us speak at this well-organized event. I hope everyone will gain something from our presentation, and I would also like to thank the CITA team for giving us at Tantek 4D the opportunity to present our business and services, and hopefully it won't be the last. So without any more delay, I will present the use of 4D BIM in tender submissions. So just a little bit of background about myself. Obviously, my name is Les Browne. My role is BIM VDC Manager. Just a bit of a definition of the role. So obviously, as all the previous speakers just talked about, BIM is a collaboration process. It's collaborating between a variety of BIM softwares using a common data environment for all parties to communicate effectively with the aid of 3D. And then VDC is the virtual design and construction. So it is essentially building the entire project virtually or digitally before it is built in the real world. It essentially uses BIM models to plan the construction process from beginning to end, bringing 3D to 4D, focusing on logistics, crane strategies, phasing and scheduling, which effectively what indicates the project budget. So just a few roles and responsibilities. So I manipulate and create 3D models using a variety of BIM software. I create and extract work drawings from a fully collaborated model. We are efficient with common data environments and BIM workflows. We also create family and component for company development to enhance project efficiency. And we also develop the company's VDC workflows and strategy and promote digital construction, which is technically what I'm doing at the minute. And so ongoing research and development into new innovative technologies within the AECO sector. And then I also provide technical assistance to colleagues and clients when necessary. So just I suppose the road to Tantek 4D and my previous roles. The first one was when I started getting involved in BIM was with an architectural firm, and I was a Revit technician. And then I went on to BIM technician and BIM manager within the precast industry. And then on to BIM 4D technician with a tier 1 main contractor in the tendering department. So just a few previous BIM related projects that I coordinated and managed. You can see there on the right hand side, Dublin Airport Central, University College, Bath Court, Páirc Uí Chaoimh, which is one of the biggest projects that happened in that time. Several national and secondary schools across the country. So I did so working closely with major construction contractors and developers across Ireland and the UK. So why Tantek 4D for me? Well, I just thought that they had a brilliant innovative business model, dedication and focus on BIM and 4D in the AECO sector. And they're open to new and innovative technology. They always want to progress and develop, and they also encourage their employees to showcase their skill. So the introduction to Tantek 4D. So Tantek 4D, formerly known as Tantek Solutions, is a digital engineering company based in Sligo, Ireland. Our company carries out an expansive range of services within the architectural engineering and construction operations industry throughout Ireland, the UK, and Europe. So our main focus, our main company focus is to assist firms in the transition into the new digital era. So our mission is to be a global leader in advancing in the use of digital technologies in the AECO industry. And our values is to be industry disruptors, innovators, quality drivers. And we also provide for a wide number of sectors, including pharmaceutical, manufacturing, commercial, residential, civil, education, mechanical, electrical, rail and road, healthcare, renewable energy, oil and gas. So quite a lot of sectors that we our service go to. So Tantek 4D services then. So we provide 4D BIM, we provide 3D laser scanning, BIM coordination, 3D digital animations, and digital strategy consulting. So what is 4D BIM? So a little bit of background about 4D BIM. So 4D BIM involves the collaboration and schedule time-related data to a 3D information model. In simple terms, it entails linking the activities and tasks of a project program to the elements of a 3D model. The origins of 4D BIM can be attributed back to the 1980s, where Hitachi and Bechtel collaborated to create a 4D model. During the 90s, Fisher and Associate at Stanford University worked on the creation of 4D simulations, and obviously more recently with high-profile clients such as Microsoft and Amazon, they've started requesting its inclusion on their projects. So the use of 4D BIM. 4D BIM can be utilized by contractors throughout the following stages of a project. So you can have it in pre-tender planning, pre-contract planning, and contract planning. But we feel it's best suited for scheduling critical projects such as interface works, for example, crane strategy, so avoiding clash, complex refurbishment projects, large maintenance projects, new capital projects, and high-rise construction. So specific applications of 4D BIM, so spatial planning, constructability analysis, logistics management, crane lift strategy, risk mitigation, health and safety management, and sequencing of works. So the analysis of 4D BIM. So regarding health and safety management, 4D BIM can be used for continuous monitoring and visualization of potential safety risks, digital illustration of site safety plans and procedures, testing of safety strategies on projects. And with regard to logistics management, 4D BIM can be used to optimize vehicle access, egress routes, storage area layouts, flow of site personnel, safe operation and movement of plant. And then a continuation of the analysis of 4D BIM. So in relation to constructability analysis, 4D simulations are particularly useful for digital rehearsing alternative construction methods in order to choose the best one. 4D BIM enables the comparison of each option according to schedule duration, cost, and associated risk. The 4D process acts as a platform to communicate the sequencing of tasks, and 4D BIM is essential for managing, highlighting safety routes for the removal of large plant and machinery in complex areas. In other words, spatial planning, which allows our clients a better perspective regarding the available space. So the benefits of 4D BIM. So it facilitates project acceleration, it enhances the communication, it improves certainty in the project methodology, it aids development of risk mitigation and strategies, it also improves schedule certainty, detects sequencing errors, enables safe spatial planning, increases cost certainty, and reduces health and safety risks. So 4D BIM in tender submissions. Effectiveness of 4D BIM in tenders. So because of COVID-19 pandemic has been a key driver towards the digitalization of tender submissions. As part of the bid evaluation process on complex projects, clients are starting to demand the use of 4D BIM in developing effective risk mitigation strategies. During the procurement phase, 4D BIM enables a more informed comprehension of the construction process, testing the feasibility of the project strategy, validation of the project phasing plans, confirmation on the robustness of the tender, and a reduction in the risk profile. Digitalizing tender submissions. So the benefits, it improves competitiveness, it improves submission, it enhances the communication, displays certainty in project methodology, aids demonstration of risk mitigation strategies. It improves visualization of the actual construction methodology, improves the overall quality of bid submission. It demonstrates safe spatial planning and portrays a move towards digitalization. So what Tantek 4D can do. So at Tantek 4D, we help contractors win bids by offering a number of key bespoke packages, which can be combined to suit the bid submission requirements. So health and safety animation. So we can create animation, we create and animate our clients' regulations and procedures intended to prevent accident or injury in the workplace. 4D simulation, then, we can animate our client's program and visualize how the project will develop based on the client's requirements. Logistics layout, we can also help our clients visualize vehicle access and egress and how to avoid disturbing the flow of public transportation. And we can also show welfare office locations through stage-by-stage process. Crane lift strategy, again, a major asset for 4D BIM is the identifying crane locations and having the ability to highlight crane turning circles to showcase potential clash. We also produce project videos. Again, having the capabilities of producing an animated project video at tender stage allows our clients a much better competitive edge. It allows it allows a more detailed perspective to all stakeholders involved, which in turn gives our clients that edge on their competitors. We also produce corporate videos, so we also have the capabilities to provide our clients with corporate business identity videos. It allows them to showcase their business model and services when tendering for specific projects. It would highlight, for example, the facility location. It would we would also create branding graphics. We would showcase external and internal facility processes, and all of this in a high quality 4K resolution. Welfare layouts, so similar to our logistical layouts, we can also showcase and highlight through animation the location of site welfare offices on a stage-by-stage process and the effect it can have on the overall project. And then our 4D workflows, from project concepts right through to project completion. We understand the client's brief, we develop 3D models in-house, or we can manipulate the existing 3D models to accurately showcase the client's brief. We collaborate using a wide variety of BIM and animation software to capture the requirements efficiently. And we also coordinate workshops both internally and externally with clients, visually showcasing the project methodology. And with the aid of 4D software, we can then link all the 3D models to the desired construction schedule to develop a movie animation. So the client project satisfaction then at the end, these animations support our many clients to deliver a successful tender package, which gives them the competitive edge. Stakeholders have a better overall project perspective based on the 4D simulation and animation, giving our clients a greater chance of winning that specific contract. If successful, the 4D construction simulation can also be used during the construction stage to visually present the project process and the what-if scenarios, such as site logistics, temporary works, scheduling, and many more. So just for a project example, this is a project that's live and ongoing currently. So just the project overview then. So our client is a tier 2 contractor and it's located in London, UK. The client objective then was they're putting together a tender package for the groundworks and basement construction phase for a mixed use residential development worth an estimated total of 7 billion. The proposed facility, it has parks and playing fields, office space, new homes, restaurants, sports and leisure facilities. So you can imagine it's a quite substantial contract for our client, and our client fully believes that 4D simulation will benefit their tender submission and give them a competitive edge. So understanding the client's brief, so we clearly identify the site location with animated site introduction, highlighting the main access road, the construction vehicles, the general operatives, and identifying the perimeter of site hoarding, locating the site access gates, parking facilities, laydown areas, and site welfare offices. And then we also do an animated crane strategy where we clearly show the crane types, their lifting capacity, and the turning circles to eliminate clashes. Animate each stage of the crane strategy from excavating to piling to installation. And then we show the strategy on a stage-by-stage process. Developing the 3D models. So we develop the 3D models based on the client's information. We either create them in-house or from 2D information, or we manipulate the received models to achieve the end result. Coordination at an early stage is key for the 4D simulation process. And we do this using a full BIM Autodesk suite of software. And obviously we collaborate all the models, and we bring it to a stage where we can capture the brief and animate it. And then, you know, obviously while creating models is a key process, animation is probably the most important aspect. It effectively brings all the 3D models to life. And the team we have must be efficient with common data environments to communicate efficiently. And then we do this using a wide variety of animation software such as Autodesk 3ds Max, Lumion, Twinmotion, Unreal Engine, and Blender. So the coordinator workshops, then we can either create models in-house or as I said, we manipulate the existing models that come in. And in this case, we created the models. So we created a pile model, a pile cap model, RC slab model, PC column, walls, beams, etc. RC floor slabs, and then we put together a site boundary, laydown, and berm model, and we linked all of those models and into a fully coordinated model, which then is ready for our 4D simulation. So at the end, we do a 4D simulation check. So we make sure that the full project is to be coordinated efficiently, individual models to be separated according to program schedule, and all models to be exported to common data environment. All unique elements to be numbered and named correctly. That's a key point as well, because doing that allows us to be ready then for our 4D simulation. So then getting on to 4D simulation and the desired schedule. So we generally receive the client's program of works with the format depending on the planning software used. Using the most innovative 4D software on the market, we would then generate the simulation based on the desired schedule, linking it all to the coordinated BIM models. We apply graphics, we apply client's brand identification and legends, and then we send, we get the approval from the client, and then we send for the final rendering and issue to client. And you can just see there, this is a specific piece of data that we would get from the client, and we would bring that piece of data into our 4D software and generate time and generate an animated movie to showcase how the project is going to develop over time. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening. I hope you all gained something from it. And please don't be afraid to highlight our services to your friends and colleagues. It is much appreciated in advance. And you can also see our website link at the bottom of the screen for more information. So thanks, and I'll hand you back to Trevor.
Thank you, Les. Great insight to what Tantek have on offer, and a compelling case, I think, for 4D and the importance of scheduling time in with the 3D model to get the full use of it. And interesting to see the value it has up front before tender stage in terms of trying to win the actual the contract initially. So really interesting indeed. So maybe I could ask other speakers today to turn on their camera. And I know we have about 10 minutes or so to recap on what was covered and hopefully address any questions. So maybe I can invite also anyone who's linking in with us here today to type in any questions you have in the chat box, and we might be able to cover those. So I see one or two in. Alan Hoare is leading the charge and has the first question for Denise. Denise, I'm sure you had heads up on that one, but yeah. It was just in relation to the SFA body and how many construction companies would be members, and maybe what themes have emerged in terms of areas of concern that might need more mentoring.
Okay, well, just to explain, roughly, we just launched our program there about 3.5 weeks ago. So if I take kind of roughly at the moment from construction and technology, and we've a load of different industries applied to the scheme, but if I break down just those two areas, we're in and around, I say 10% from both areas. So about 20% of the applicants that have come through from technical and the technology breakdown of it. The opportunity is to join the SFA if they want on a bigger scale, and also to keep an eye out on the newsletters and what they offer to both industries as well. The main emphasis from anyone from construction and the technical area that have applied to the mentoring is done on 3 particular areas that they choose from the outset. So realistically, we have a pick list when the application comes through, and they're broken down over those 4 particular pillars. So we've noticed from, say, the construction and the technical areas, the thing is, it's really about benchmarking their business and where they can maybe gain new traction. And because of been the closures over because of COVID, and how they can relate their business maybe into new channels that they haven't thought of before. That way, and maybe kind of a digital aspect, or maybe branching the business into 2 new areas. One of the main concerns of the construction technical areas was that the team, supporting their team because of the remoteness and possibly maybe getting back to work, and how they would do that and motivate and bring all their team back on. So there's been a lot of key areas, and when you actually apply, there's over 20 areas that you choose from. You choose 3 of those areas. So everyone is an individual when they apply. They pick those particular 3 areas, and then they're assigned to a mentor that would have expertise in those 3 key elements. When the mentoring commences, then the SME would highlight those 3 areas, and the supportive of the mentoring then would identify what particularly strand from those that they wish to work on during the mentoring. Now, they have 3 mentoring sessions across the 12 weeks, but the other strands of what we offer in the MentorsWork is really to capture the particular area. So if I take one that they want to work on motivating the team, they would work very much on the mentoring about how they can adapt those new skills or identify new areas to enhance, but also by going to the other elements of the workshops and masterclasses that supports the learning and encouraging growth. In one of our workshops the other day, it was about leadership and skills and how to identify and bring forth upskilling, and also to ensure that every member of the team stayed with them and progress it. So it's really about gaining new business opportunities and benchmarking and holding on to business that they currently have, but maybe having to adapt, and we've all had to adapt very recently into the virtual world. But also some of the concerns was that they're getting ready to reopen, and also to look forward. So to take on board what learning companies have had to date. And we've noticed in the last 3 weeks with the number of construction firms coming forward and technical companies coming forward, each business is very much an individual basis. But the overall view is gaining new customers, keeping the customer base that they currently have, and how they can adapt their business quickly to get a return on investment, and also to support their team that have been with them from day one, that way, and getting back to business safely and encouraging growth. So it's a mix across it of it. But I know the SFA are always trying to work with each individual industry, and we do have a large repertoire of industries applying to MentorsWork because it's very open to all industries. But if I take a construction technically, we have actually noticed in the last few weeks, and we've only launched 3.5 weeks ago of our new expanded, the companies are starting to apply as well. So we're hoping we're able to offer them what they need.
Very good. That's great, Denise.
Okay.
And I know in the pillars you have productivity and digitization and automation. So certainly key themes that resonate here today in terms of BIM and digitization of business models.
Very much so. Yeah,
like COVID now, you know. So
just
absolutely.
So in terms of the impact of COVID, which is obviously impacting us all across the globe daily, maybe it's an important topic, and I see a question there maybe for Les in terms of the services that Tantek offer. Have they seen, or have you seen any changes as a result of COVID and the pandemic?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I suppose because our clients, I suppose, can't physically present their tender packages, you know, they need that, or they need that wow factor now, and I think that 4D really helps them produce that wow factor to their clients, and you know, BIM enables that wow factor. So yeah, we've seen a lot more contractors coming back to us now looking for 4D, because of the whole restrictions, and they can't physically present their packages in person.
Very good. That's great, Les, and yeah, it is timely to have that option available and to be pushing it out there as an option, and I can certainly see it having a big impact. The next question might be for Maeve, and it relates to the use of Dynamo, and you had some good examples there of harnessing the power of Dynamo and automating data and the data management just to simplify and make the processes efficient, and you're not doing the same thing over again, it's automated. So that was really insightful. But one of the questions just is in relation to the use of Dynamo. Is it being used by all designers in ARUP, or is it maybe just a focused, specialized area at the moment?
So we're rolling out Dynamo training for everybody. Like if they want to do it, we can give them training in it. We have an essential course on our internal training hub, but it's more for that they may not do the scripts themselves, but they know how to like analyze the scripts that are already made and fix any bugs or errors. We also have our digital team. We take our best scripts that work really well. They try and update them to like hard code, like C# to make them like just a bit more robust and easier to use. But we do like workshops with everybody, and it's just if they want to do it, they can do it, but it's not like pushed on anybody. But yeah, we're trying to encourage everybody to get the training. Yeah. Very
good. And Maeve, is there any experience that you've seen with quantity surveyors using Dynamo as a tool for cost analysis or management?
I haven't, just myself, I haven't, but I'm not aware of anybody using for QSs. No, I'm not. It would be a great tool for them to use, but I am not aware of that. No.
Okay, very good. And Les, in relation to the software that you use, is there any particular program software you use for 4D?
Yes. I don't think I'll give out that information at the minute, but we do use a quite you know, vast majority of BIM software. Like we use the full Autodesk suite, but yeah, we do have a specific 4D software that we use, but I'll just I'll keep that one close to my chest for now. Sorry.
Very good. A bespoke package.
Yeah.
You'll be able to share with us when you get to the scale of ARUP.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. I know we're close to the end, but just want to see if anyone had any last questions that they can type in, or if any other of the panelists have any comments to make.
I have just one question. It's actually for Denise. Thanks. Great presentation by all, and it's really actually insightful. Just Denise, you mentioned mentors and having a mentor-and program, and actually having expert leads in expert areas. How do Skillnet actually engage with potential mentors to actually for that expertise? And I'm just wondering, because there's probably on this call here today, there's probably a whole range of expertise that may be willing in the future to actually engage with yourselves to act as a mentor to an SME, or so be it.
With all the Skillnet programs, thanks Dave for the question, it was all done through the e-tenders, the government e-tenders website. So all of the tender process for involvement of the mentors was done back, and were all advertised through the e-government website. I know with all of the Skillnet programs, that's where they advertise what is coming up, and people then would, send in their tenders and submissions on it. So in relation to the mentors, yes, that we have a large capacity of mentors currently at the moment. They have different expertise in different areas and strengths, and to support anyone that's applying to it, we try and get the best match forward for the mentors. So very specific around our pillars on it in relation to it. And also it's what the SME brings with them as well. It's their expertise, their own thought leadership about their business, and their own focus blends together. So like it's a partnership between the mentor and the SME on the journey, and then we evolve it. But for anyone that was considering it, it was done through the e-tenders through the government website.
Well, okay. Thanks for that information.
No problem.
Thanks, David. And just for everyone to know, I think the presentations will be loaded onto the theatre website in the short term. And I think this has been recorded as well, so it'll be on the YouTube channel of CitA for people to reassess, I suppose, in the future if they missed this session. And Suzanne has joined us, and again, just wanted to thank Suzanne and Alan Hoare and the CitA team for facilitating this interaction across the boundaries of academia and construction and all the different stakeholders. So it's really really important to us to have that opportunity, and we're delighted to be involved on my side and David's side. And maybe Suzanne, if you want to have a few final comments, that'd be great.
I just wanted to thank you all very much. I really appreciate your presentations. Were really insightful and interesting for everyone, and I hope everyone who was attending found them of use. And they will all be recorded, and they have been recorded, and they will be placed up onto the CitA YouTube channel. So it's great to see the regional events people are so interested in attending them. So we might even, the girls will probably kill me now, we might do an extra one before we get to November, and we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on out there that people, I think, need to hear about and learn about. And it's great that everyone is so interested in sharing what they're doing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is great. So thanks a million. And we've one more event taking place tomorrow. If anyone is interested in sticking with us tomorrow, if you haven't already signed up, just go onto the website and Shannon will send you out the link. That's great. Thanks a million, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.